of education, create and realise potential. We need to approach the future with optimism. And I think this is really important because the dominant narrative around the fourth industrial revolution is now technology inevitably will dominate our assessment of the level and types of skills required for the future. And it's no surprise that those responding to a survey undertaken by Citibank and the University of Oxford's Oxford Martin School highlighted the need for increased investment in education. That was observed by most countries. However, they also highlighted the need for greater alignment between educators, employers and policymakers.
Well, the UK is very much an experienced provider of executive education and certainly in the past has offered relevant and innovative, high-quality global business education around the world. I think the experience that we have in the UK is something that we are immensely proud of. And the Side Business School, I think, is a very good example of this type of education. We're very keen, sort of setting the Department of International Trade, to get out and be able to sort of promote this around the world. And I think this is a perfect example here of just how we can get this started. Yes, indeed. I mean, the UK and Malaysia have very, very strong historical ties. And again, I kind of reiterate the point that this is a very good example of how we're working together. I think it's worth, again, repeating that the department that I represent, which is the Department of International Trade, is absolutely about this internationalisation of the UK. We're out to do everything we can in order to promote all that we feel is great about the UK, including this the vocational training and leadership training. So we have, across the globe, we have 178 diplomatic posts where we have international, Department of International Trade representatives around 108 countries in the world. So we are doing everything we can to make sure that we are promoting this transnational education, and as the Minister within the Department of International Trade that looks after education, I'm very proud that what we seem to be doing seems to be very successful and is doing well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have been working closely with HRDF to best understand the challenges faced by the Malaysian economy, hence our focus on the importance of SME leaders. And we recently held a workshop with 50 of them to reflect on the challenges they face. And there's challenges both for them as individuals, for their organisations, and the wider ecosystem in which we operate. So I think it's one of the things that we've taken a great deal of time to reflect on is how do we make those organisations successful and what needs to be influenced in order to do that. And also recognising that the future we're moving towards is different and that their success depends on their ability to gain the benefits of working as part of a network. So that's very much fed into the design, and we're also trying to build on work that they've done before. So many of the SME leaders we've spoken to had participated in the My Future programme, which has been very successful, that's been organised by HRDF, and I think what we're seeking to do is to build on work they've done before and equip them for the future. So we are always taking the opportunity to innovate our practice from a pedagogical perspective. I think one of the things that makes the SME programme unique is that we're trying to, through the design of the learning programme, build the capability of leaders to operate in a network by simulating the network in bringing together a large number of SME leaders. We're also using scale to achieve personalisation. And there's a mix from working as a very large group to working as a very small group. And I think that's quite innovative in how that operates. And to do that, we've been inspired by how large group processes work in arenas such as Davos, but we're also making sure that we build on Oxford's heritage in terms of the tutorial system. So the tutorial system is based on a pull model of learning. And actually through this process for our SMEs, they will be able to engage one-to-one and in small groups with our faculty, as well as part of a big group process. So there's a lot of innovation in what we do, but we also recognise the need to have blended and integrated approaches. The most important thing is to accelerate the transfer of knowledge into practice. And to do that successfully, it's also about partnering locally to make sure that we understand the local context, that we're able to leverage diversity of thought and enable participants to learn from each other. So there's an interesting thing here where we're innovating in face-to-face delivery, which I think is as interesting as innovating digitally.
There are 6 key pillars that a government institute drive among the SME companies, one of which is entrepreneurship, innovation, inclusive export, and so forth. So typically currently 36% of Malaysian GDP are contributed by SME, and 65% of employments are contributed by SMEs, and about 18% of Malaysian exports are contributed by SMEs. And government have a very clear target that we want to increase SME GDP contribution to 41% by 2020 and increase the export to 21%. So we looked at what the government aspiration. We had an engagement session with the SME leaders to understand their current challenges, what are the challenges they have, what are the future direction they're looking at, how can we fit in to help them as a helping hand to grow their businesses in line with the government agenda to help grow the SME companies in Malaysia.